So really what we're dealing with today is just a whole lot of random stuff that's kind of related to product rule, quotient rule, although some of it may be a little less related. But the first thing I want to deal with are some trig derivatives. You already know 2 trig derivatives, but we need to learn the other 4. So for starters, just so we have a complete list of all these things, the derivative of the sine of x is what? Cosine x. Oh, good. And the derivative of the cosine of x? Negative sine x. Yes. Well, yes. Oh my goodness. The derivative of the tangent of x. So, how could we try to figure this out?
You could do sine over cosine and then do the quotient rule.
Aha, this is why we didn't learn the derivative of the tangent until now. This is the derivative of the sine of x over the cosine of x. And like various people said, we need to use the quotient rule. A little bit. Okay, so using the quotient rule, let's see, low is cosine x. What's d high? Cosine x. Minus high sine x d low. Negative sine x. Draw the line. Square below. Actually, why don't I just write it like this? Cosine squared x. That's our shortcut way of saying cosine x squared. You saw that last year in pre-calc. Cosine x times cosine x, I can simplify this. That's cosine squared x. And negative sine x times negative sine x, that becomes plus sine squared x. So I should get this thing. Cosine squared x plus sine squared x over cosine squared x. And I feel like the top should look familiar from last year. It's an identity. It's 1. Sine squared of something plus cosine squared of that thing is 1. This is just 1 over cosine squared x. And actually, what is 1 over cosine? Secant. So 1 over cosine squared x is just going to be secant squared x. And we're going to say that that is our derivative of the tangent of x. The derivative of the tangent of x is the secant squared of x. And where does it come from? It really just comes from using quotient rule. We are not going to go through the proof of the derivative of the cotangent of x, but it's going to work the same way. You're going to say it's cosine x over sine x. You'll go use quotient rule. When you're done, it will end up equaling negative cosecant squared x. By the way, when we're done and we have all 6, I'll pass out index cards. We'll kind of get them all in index cards so you can help kind of work on memorizing these things. The derivative of the tangent of x is the secant squared of x. The derivative of the cotangent of x is the negative cosecant squared of x. We've got 4. You can, but I don't know if you're not gonna have the time to go through that. So they are going to be things that are going to be worth memorizing. Okay, next, the derivative of the secant of x. And I would love it if someone could raise their hand and suggest how we could approach this. Go on. This is 1 over the cosine of x. Which again means I can use the quotient rule. I just have to be a little bit careful with a few things. Low, cosine x. What is d high? 0, because it was just a constant up top. Minus high, 1. D low, negative sine x. Draw the line square below. This is over. Cosine squared x. We will simplify more of this after lunch.